Heyo! It's Olga here. Today I want to share with you my experience from a not so popular with tourists place, which left me this. One of the absolute best souvenirs I brought back from Bangladesh. This place is Mirpur. Mirpur is a really large neighborhood in the northwest of Dhaka. It's a newer area where mainly middle and lower class reside. The area is so big, it was divided into sections. In Mirpur 10, there is a neighborhood famous for its sari shops called Benaroshipalli. The name Benaroshipalli comes from the type of sari made and sold here, Benaroshi or Benaresi. The name Benaroshi originates from the Indian city of Benares or Varanasi. During partition of India and Pakistan in 1947, many weavers immigrated from Benares to Bangladesh and settled in Mirpur, keeping alive the craft of their forefathers. Their community is rather poor and has little weight in the society. Some don't even have the Bangladeshi passport. They still speak Hindi or Urdu, aside from Bengali, of course. Benaroshi saris are luxurious, heavy, traditionally made of silk and decorated with silver and gold brocade. There is a huge variety of designs: simple dots, booties, lianas covering the whole body, intricate flower and geometric compositions. These saris are worn to weddings and other special occasions. How could I resist trying them on?
Weapon of every sari wearer, the knot. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes. Do you think it suits?
Yes.
Yeah.
Narashupti.
Oh man. Yes. This one is nice. Yes, I never saw it. Very nice. Yeah.
Although Benaroshipalli is famous for its reasonable pricing, at first glance they are rather pricey. 12,000, 20, 30,000. There are of course cheaper options too, for a couple of thousand taka.
If I do this, I will be like Sheikh Hasina. What do you think?
What is the difference then? First of all, it's how they are made. Products of power looms are always cheaper than hand looms. Also, polyester and mixed fabrics are cheaper. I didn't buy the sari, but really wanted to see how this beauty is made. And so, we went deeper into Benaroshipalli. On the way, we saw a dyeing house. This is how yarn is manually dyed to later be turned into colorful saris. The job turned out to be very physically demanding. Yarn is often imported from China. Although such raw materials are of mediocre quality, they are cheap. It was very hot and humid inside of the dairy, and the guys weren't too talkative, so we were soon on our way. On an otherwise unremarkable street, we, with permission, entered a factory. Inside were two men behind looms. Surprisingly for me, all weavers I saw in Bangladesh, apart from the Chittagong hill tracks, were men. Such has been the custom for hundreds of years.
आपका नाम क्या है? मोहम्मद अली। मेरा नाम ओल्गा है।
The first thing that blew my mind was the looms. Huge, complex-looking machines behind which you can hardly see the weaver. The weavers sit on the floor, their feet in the hole made under the loom.
আমি এর সাথে আমাদের থেকে এগুলি কাম করি। আমার নাম হলো বিশ্ববিল্লাহ কালো ফকির।
He has been in the profession for 40 years. Muhammad Ali has been weaving for over 20 years.
ये एक साड़ी के लिए कितना टाइम लगता है? 3 days. Okay.
They weave so fast that it seems like the flying shuttles slide across the fabric on their own. It was a bit easier to see the operations with Imran. He admitted that he hasn't sat behind the loom in a while, but his hands still remember the work. He started when he was still of school age. Young weavers like Imran leave their professions as the earnings are measly and demand for handloom Benarashis not that high.
कॉटन है और सुंदर भी है और मुश्किल भी है।
मुश्किल है, बहुत मुश्किल है काम में।
और बहुत दिलचस्प।
He now works as a butcher for a supermarket chain and earns several times more. It wasn't until a bit later that I noticed something else. Punch cards. Last time I saw those was in the computer game called Siberia. They hang from looms and lie in piles on the floor and tables. The sequence of punches creates designs in the sari fabric. I got curious about how these punch cards were made, and Imran took us to the specialized shop. People there were literally sitting there, punching the cards manually, carton confetti flying around.
मेरा नाम मोहम्मद सोहेल। हम ही बनारसी डिजाइन बनाते हैं प्राय 18 बच्चों से।
Turned out, this has been the family craft for several generations. Sohail is a real pro who not only learned the craft from his father, but also learned how to use the computer and some graphic software and can now create patterns, print them, and follow them while punching the cards, still manually though. He's been in the profession since the age of 11 and is now around 30.
क्योंकि आपका नीचे मैला नहीं फंसेगा।
However, lately Sohail's disenchantment with his work has been growing.
जिधर 2 पैसा मिलेगा उधर दौड़ेगा, तो जहाँ से चोरी का फायदा वही निकलेगा। अब अच्छा नहीं लगता।
अच्छा नहीं लगता, क्यों?
पैसा सही नहीं है,
माल
चलता नहीं है। हम लोग तो मीरपुर में रहते हैं, मीरपुर का माल ऐसा चलता नहीं।
अच्छा, क्यों?
क्यों नहीं चलता है? जैसे कि बाहर का नौसंदी आ रहा जाए, यहाँ का आदमी लोग तो पावलों में भी आता है,
हाँ
तो इंडियन कुछ माल आता है यहाँ पे,
हाँ।
ठीक है, तो हम लोग मीरपुर का माल नहीं चलता है।
अच्छा,
हम लोग से डिजाइन लेके गद्दी वाला आदमी दे देता है नौसंदी वाला लोग को बाहर में, तो ये डिजाइन हमको ला के दो, कम रेट में लेता है। वो लोग कम रेट में माल लेके अच्छा बिक्री करता है, लेकिन हम लोग का जो यहाँ का जो ताती लोग है, जो बिना तकलीफ करके एक जिनिस ले जाके आपका पास दिया, दाम बोलता है एकदम कम दाम, जो आपका लाभ ही नहीं हो, 100-200 रुपया लाभ भी नहीं होता, क्योंकि हाथ का काम अच्छा होता है। मीरपुर का साड़ी जो होता है बहुत परफेक्ट होता है, लेकिन हम लोग का कोई दाम नहीं है, अब अच्छा नहीं लगता। फिर छोटा से करते आ रहे हैं अब तक, तो आगे जो था अच्छा ही था व्यवसा, लेकिन अब अच्छा नहीं। अब व्यवसा चल गया बाहर, यहाँ नहीं, जैसे कि सिराजगंज, नौसंदी, सब जगह व्यवसा चल गया। मीरपुर में अब व्यवसा नहीं रहा, अच्छा पार्टी रोता आगे, इस वजह से आप एक तो टान था लाइन से, अब नहीं। बस जब तक चल रहा चला रहे हैं ना, जब तक रिजिक रेखी नहीं इसमें चल रहा है।
What can I add here? Unfortunately, I don't know of any organizations successfully supporting the weavers and helping their fading art. The government of Bangladesh takes some measures, but they do not seem sufficient. That's why I want to urge you to pay attention to this craft. When buying a sari to wear or as a souvenir, choose handloom. It will serve longer and better. Try to educate yourself to recognize synthetic fibers and learn to differentiate between powerloom and handloom. My tip: the reverse side usually gives it away. Thank you for watching. Ta-da!